Welcome back to On the Shelf Gaming, the only show on the internet where you'd have to be a Psycho Sally not to be subscribed.
Damn. That's probably really offensive to somebody watching. You should be ashamed of yourself.
Others, like Bronson Reed, think it's embarrassing how you ran away from SmackDown. His words.
We didn't run away.
Wants to take you on in a match with
We fucking left on our own goddamn terms.
Because he's lazy. Anyway, I feel like running circles around him. Metaphorically, anyway.
Why'd you put parentheses there?
I
She said it. Like,
don't know. It probably made sense somewhere, you know?
Yes.
Sometimes in life, you gotta speak with literal parentheses coming out of your mouth. It's like how people do hand quotes.
right.
People just gonna start holding their hands up like
Holding
this.
their hands up in like parentheses.
Yeah.
Just like, and then like you just insult someone, and you're like, hey, what the fuck did you just say to me? It's like, I didn't say fucking anything, man. It was in parentheses. You weren't supposed to see that.
You hold your arm up like this for strike through, just straight across, and so people don't react to it unless it's funny, then they laugh.
It's like when it's like in the Beetlejuice musical, during one of the songs, I forget the name. Fucking Beetlejuice is like singing his little fucking solo about how horrible fucking the Malins are, and fucking they're like, excuse me, Mr. Beetlejuice, we can kind of hear you. And he's like, yeah? Well, this is a soliloquy, so you're the ones being rude.
That's fucking great.
The Beetlejuice musical is great. It depresses me that it's never gonna happen ever again.
Brutal.
Well, because, like, they were up against the odds. Because, you know, the big wigs of Broadway don't much appreciate stuff like Beetlejuice. You know, they like their all-American tales, you know, they like their boring musicals. They like their boring musicals and Hamiltons. So when something like Beetlejuice comes out where it's like, yeah, no, we're pretty comedy, we're a little edgy, and like Beetlejuice breaks the fourth wall and just talks directly to the audience all the fucking time, and like he knows he's in a musical. Because when they got the rights to adapt it, the guy who agreed to adapt it said, all right, but I want to write him as able to break the fourth wall. Mm-hmm. He needs to know he's in a musical. And so that was one of the terms. They weren't very popular. So, the people who could actually afford full-price Broadway tickets were not going to this show.
Right. Oh, yeah, because going to a Broadway show, going to any musical in New York is going to cost you a fortune, but going to Broadway specifically...
Right. No, it's a fortune and a half. And so these rich people weren't going to see it because it's just not their cup of tea. But it blew up a lot with young people and like people in our generation. But we can't afford to go to Broadway. So they made the decision to seriously lower ticket prices. So they were making a profit, but at a pretty significant loss. And then they weren't able to renew their lease with the theater that they ran out of. And normally that wouldn't be a problem, but they built their set to be in that theater. Like, that theater had a very specific stage design and layout that they couldn't just up and replace.
Right.
And they were like, well, the fucking set is just as much of a character as Beetlejuice is, because they just had all their shit hooked to it. It was cool. It was a really cool set, and they couldn't just up and move it somewhere else because it literally didn't fit anywhere else. So they're just like, yeah, well, that's it, we're done. And then they were gonna do a recorded version and put it on Netflix. They were like in the middle of filming it, but then COVID happened.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah, went the way of many things that existed while COVID happened and no other time. And now it's, if they ever do it again, like if they ever get back together to finish it, it's gonna be a fucking miracle. Because from what like Alex Brightman has said, it's just not in the cards anymore. The people who need to be involved are no longer involved in any capacity.
Brutal.
Yeah, it sucks, because like I would have killed to see the Beetlejuice musical.
Understandable. I don't care anything about Beetlejuice, but it does sound funny.
It's really good. It's my favorite Beetlejuice media, because Beetlejuice as a movie sucks.
Yeah, I haven't ever seen it, but I've heard that it wasn't very good from quite a few people.
It's not. Beetlejuice is in it for like 10 minutes.
Why even make it?
Exactly.
I don't know. Have you ever seen? Because like I've seen musicals before, but it's all been like school level production musicals,
Right.
which are fine. Don't get me wrong. I don't have any issue with those, but I certainly wouldn't pay a lot of money to go see them. Have you ever seen any like professional musicals?
No. I've only seen school level stuff because Elizabeth's brother joined drama for a little bit, and so I went to one of their shows, and I forget. I don't know. Big musical buffs in the comments. You might know it. They're like,
yeah, bro.
they're like on a cruise or whatever, and there's a murder, something I don't know. he was the captain, so a minor role.
Yeah. The only musical right offhand that I know of that still goes on that I'm interested in seeing is the Lion King musical. And that's mostly just because it actually like tours around.
Yeah, right.
Of course, I don't know if it necessarily come like to us, because I don't know if I'm sure it comes to Texas. Doesn't necessarily mean it comes to Dallas.
Oh yeah.
But
it's not like that one fucking Chinese ballet thing that I constantly see ads for. Like, basically every time I see an ad for it, it's like, oh, in Chinese ballet, you know, ribbon dancing, coming to Dallas for the one time only. And I see that like once a year.
Hell yeah, let's go see it, bro!
Woo! I'm sure it's in Dallas.
We'll never get another chance.
Just like Slade never got another chance.
I finally get to lay eyes on the man holding the
Remember Slade?
WWE
Nope.
Universal title.
For the non-wrestling fans at home, this is not a real person.
He's not.
Yeah, for some reason, despite the fact that they have a huge list of fucking wrestlers in this game that they could do whatever they want with, they have a ton of original OCs do not steal.
You're lucky you get a chance.
Like, littered all over the fucking place. And I didn't even know. When I was playing the last one, 2K23, I genuinely thought this was just some guy I never fucking heard of.
Yeah, same. Well, and he's like, oh yeah, I've been in WWE for like 12 years or something. It's like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. There's lots of people I'm not familiar with who've been around for a long time.
You know, just mid-Carter, didn't do anything. He's like, alright, I've been a fucking US champ, a tag champ, Intercontinental champ. I'm like, okay, whoa. That must have been like right as I was getting out of wrestling, or like right in an in-between phase. But no, he's just not real. And like Chosen, he's not. I thought Chosen was legitimately just a fucking Japanese wrestler that they got for the game. Because he looks like one.
Right.
Like he looks like one and talks like. If you haven't seen Japanese wrestler Twitter, it's the funniest shit in the world. They are the best shit talkers ever.
You will never give me the chance to prove it.
I was world champion once.
You want a title shot?
Shawn Michaels did everything he could to keep it that way. But I suck.
You're about to find
God,
out.
the timeline for this is so weird, because the Lock storyline went on for like 3 years.
I know.
So he should still be in the middle of his fucking title reign.
Well, and I would say that in this reality, the Lock doesn't exist.
Right, this is fucking...
But he has to.
Right.
Because, well, I guess, because the legacy definitely happened canonically to this.
Yes, because Justine is right there. And like we
she
referenced...
specifically talked about the comeback run or whatever.
Yeah.
And so like, it's gotta be there. And it's like, so logically you'd expect the Lock to be there too, but they keep kind of skirting around.
Right. We got budget cutted. The Lock got released in some budget cuts at some point.
Makes sense. The Lock. Not gonna lie, not my. Oh, bro, but what if the Lock had been Crandon?
Oh, bro, if he was, it wouldn't have had the fucking problem. Shawn Michaels would have just rolled over like he did in NXT. Like, yeah, whatever you say, boss.
That's true.
You know what you're doing.
And let's be real. If Crandon had been the Lock, and when Shawn came to him with the stupid gimmick, he'd be like, hell yeah, let's fucking do it.
Yeah, it is crazy to me how bad of a gimmick the Lock is. Because, like, what even is the gimmick with the lock? It's like, they're like, oh, he's the lock for the future.
Right.
You know, it's
but
like...
he's literally just carrying fucking a lock.
Yeah, he has lock
He
on
comes
his
out
ass.
of a safe.
The Dark Horse thing is fucking cool, because that's a cool name.
Oh, yeah.
And, like, it's a cool gimmick. Like, yeah, you were just some fucking nobody jobber, and then all of a sudden you get put as just a fucking whim by William Regal into this fucking tournament, and then you clean up 4 matches in one night, and you're the fucking champ. That's cool.
Absolutely.
Like, that's a way to push somebody to the moon without making them obnoxious.
No, the lock... I think there's an argument to be made that maybe that was just a bad storyline. There were parts I really liked.
Right.
But the core of it was just not very good.
Right.
Though I will say, the one thing that did, like, really, truly get me on the Lock storyline is Sean was right.
Every time.
'Cause,
Everything.
like, and I was on, of course, we were the Lock, but I was on the Lock side. Like, I was like, oh, that's a dumb gimmick. He's like, oh, that's a dumb gimmick. He's like, I don't want to do the stupid entrance. I'm like, I don't blame him. I wouldn't want to do the stupid entrance.
Right.
But, like, Sean's right. He's like, we put a lot of time, we put a lot of money in, and you weren't even willing to give us a shot. And we've been doing this for decades.
You wouldn't even change your social media handle.
Right.
Like,
and it's like, damn. Like,
they
on the
did
one
give
hand,
us...
we're right. Because the Lock fucking sucks. But on the other hand, they were doing everything they fucking could for us. And we were just like, have you tried going to fuck yourself?
They wanted us to succeed. And we were just like, nah, I'm gonna do my own thing at every fucking opportunity. Even when we agreed to do stuff, it was always under a caveat of like, oh, well, I'm keeping my social media name. Oh, I'm just gonna do my ring entrance from now on and wear my gear.
Right, yeah, no. We were the most insufferable jackass, and then we fucking got thrown out, assaulted our boss, and then stole a title.
Yeah, we stole WWE property. And then that story didn't end with us getting arrested. God. I enjoyed parts of the Lock, but again, parts of it, very questionable. Unlike the Undisputed. It's been fucking all killer, no filler. Oh yeah, I'm a big... Maybe it is because we just made Dark Horse CRANDON, but...
Admittedly. In an alternate reality, where we're playing the Lock, because we restarted On the Shelf Gaming 1 year earlier.
Right.
If the Lock was CRANDON, I'm not so sure that I'd agree with Shawn Michaels. Of course, we'd also be making what we think CRANDON would do picks, which I don't think is necessarily what I picked all the time.
Oh yeah, no.
Of course, I don't know how much of a difference that'd make on the story in the grand scheme of things, but...
You need the right combination of skill.
Right. Well, even here, we're trying to do what CRANDON would do, and like, I feel like we fucked up at least a few of those.
No, CRANDON out there, back us up. We've never screwed anything up, have we?
Yeah, CRANDON, after you finish the series, because I know he's a couple episodes behind, just because, you know, life. After you finish the series, I want you to tell us every decision we made for you that you agree with, or that you're like, no, I wouldn't do.
God, we mean like the actual decisions he comes. It's like, yeah, I definitely wouldn't have gone for a spine buster right there.
You know, I definitely wouldn't have let him drive his knee into my elbow. That would be suboptimal, Sacred.
Yeah. It's like, honestly, you should be ashamed of yourself.
As the resident video game master, just look at my performance in Banjo-Kazooie.
If you haven't seen us play Banjo-Kazooie, CRANDON's playing Banjo-Kazooie for the first time in his entire goddamn life. Right now on Shelf Gaming. I mean, probably not, but right now.
How will we survive?
Just say, don't fucking let him tap you out. If this is how you lose the title for CRANDON, you're dead to the channel.
Don't worry, bro. We're going all the fucking way.
Yeah, there we go.
The AI got better. They keep fucking countering me.
Maybe it's just because we're getting further into the storyline.
Maybe. I didn't update all of our points yet. We have like 60 just kind of sitting there.
Yeah, that'll probably do it a little bit too. It's fine. We'll get a couple more for beating Slade.
Hell yeah. Easy fucking peasy. Lemon fucking squeezy.
You know, CRANDON's classic catchphrase.
Put it on a shirt, Eric. Easy fucking peasy. Easy lemon squeezy.
God. But how will he advertise it? He doesn't wear shirts. No!
We gotta go into his gear and put easy peasy lemon squeeze. I already forgot how to fucking say it. It's just an awkward play on it. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Crandon's knee did it.
Woo!
Man. I wish that if I went out and, I got in wrestling gear and I stepped into a WWE ring, that I would look half as like I belonged as Crandon looks.
I know. He looks like he was born for the business. I mean, it was. His dad, Dusty Rhodes, prepared him at a young age.
Yeah, and his other dad, William Regal, who took over when he was grown.
One hell of a title defense last week. No doubt why.
He is not a nice guy. He's such a prick.
Someday
Maybe this really is the world.
I'd love to see how
Maybe we're falling through like rifts in space and time.
What are you...
Did I punch you too hard? We just got in the ring together. I'm the one who apparently gave you an out-of-body experience.
Us? In the ring? I think I'd remember that.
Clearly, you don't, Slade.
Oh, I see the confusion. I'm not Slade. I'm Gabriel Slade.
Totally
3-time
different.
U.S. champion, 2-time Intercontinental champion, multi-time
Jesus
tag champion.
fucking Christ.
Totally
We gave
different
him a
than
fucking
I
aneurysm.
guess we do look a little bit alike. No beard here, though.
Yeah, and it sounds
No
like only
evil
one of you
black
is taking
trunks
the
for
medication.
me.
Do chewable vitamins count?
This
God, he was such a nerd.
My friends call me Gabriel.
Okay,
Got it, Slade.
I don't have time for this.
Okay,
Get him, Crandon. Fuck him up.
unless you're afraid I might beat you.
Are we gonna have to beat him
Try to
again?
change your name. I'm not handing out second chances.
I say we beat him again, and then we come back out and he's wearing blue tights and he's got like one of those fake wizard beards. And he's like, "Hey, champ, it's me, Gabe Slady." Boy, I sure would like a title shot, please. Thank you. See you out there.
Fine, but this is the last one, Gabe.
That's my name. Don't wear it out.
We beat him, and it's like, man, if you really want all these title shots, you should just earn them fair and square. And he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. And Gabriel Slade walks up behind him and is like, yeah, we deserve it just like everybody else. And then Slade walks up behind him, and he's like, it's really not nice to...
Fucking dress down your fucking coworkers. this. That's not him.
He's the monster of all monsters now?
He didn't put on a fake beard. God. I know we talked about it in the first episode when we saw him, but like it's crazy how much smaller he looks in game.
He's so big!
Everyone Google, if you don't know Braun Strowman, Google a picture of Braun Strowman right now. He is more meat than human, I think.
No, absolutely. Honestly, because, like, back in the 80s, when WWE was, like, the land of the giants for real, right?
Right.
Like, everybody was huge.
Right.
Because, like, Randy Savage, back in the 80s, he was a pretty small guy.
Yeah.
And Randy Savage...
He's like 6'4" or something like that.
I think he was like 6'1" or 6'2", but he was just like a wall of meat.
Yeah.
He made guys like Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart look very small. And those guys, even going into like the 90s, they were smaller guys.
Right.
But then you see like Shawn with like doing the fucking DX stuff in like 2009 or whatever it was against like more modern day wrestlers. And he still looks kind of big.
Right.
And so it's like this guy, who a small guy from the era before him made him look small, is making these normal guys now look small. And so, because Braun Strowman he would fit in perfectly during the 80s era.
Oh yeah, he would have been one of the top guys.
But he wouldn't have looked nearly as big. Because it's like Hogan, he was fucking massive.
Right.
But when you put him against all those like gigantic looking guys, I mean, he still looks big.
Right.
But he doesn't look as big as Hulk Hogan actually is big.
Right. That's like the problem, like, you know, history, nostalgia goggles, and the way WWE book it is like, oh god, when Hulk Hogan picked up Andre the Giant, that's like a cat picking up a bear. And like, when you look at Andre the Giant, fucking massive man. There's no joke about it. Look up him holding a beer can in his hand. Dude is a fucking freak of nature, enormous. But so is Hulk Hogan.
Oh, yeah.
Like, when they had their big, iconic stare down, Hulk Hogan is almost as big as Andre.
Oh, I know. Hogan is a giant. Well, and it's like, because Hulk Hogan and Triple H, when he was a full-time wrestler, when he was like, during the times when he was super bulked,
WWE Universal Championship.
they were roughly the same size at those times. But Triple H looked way bigger than Hogan looked at a comparable size because the people just weren't as big.
Right.
And it's like, that makes it way better. Seeing, well, for one thing, there's a reason that the Great Khali versus Big Show is not anyone's favorite match of all time. It's Gabriel Slade! Stud him! Boom! Thanks, Slade. Not that I needed help, but...
Yeah, we were going to do this regardless. Why would you just give me a free finisher if it's not going to fucking
do anything?
Like, there's no way we lose this match. Just let us have the fun roll-up or whatever.
Oh, I know. But yeah, it's like... If the only thing you're looking for is just pure size, not how good they are at wrestling, not how, can they cut a promo, nothing. Your only concern is, can I get somebody really, really big? You just don't get as good results.
Right.
Like, and that's not to say there's not big guys that aren't good at wrestling, because there's definitely really large guys who are also good at wrestling.
Yeah.
Not most of them.
Yeah, but like nowadays, before that was basically unheard of. If you were big, you were good. You didn't have to do all the other stuff.
Right.
But like now, it's much more of a requirement to be good at your job. For the most part, obviously some people skirt around it. But like, that's what, getting back to Undertaker being a fucking prick, that's why Undertaker hated Big Show for so long. Because Big Show didn't know how to wrestle. He was a Hulk Hogan project in the fucking height of WCW. So... all he needed was to be big, and so he was big, and they put the championship on him, and he never learned basically any kind of fundamentals. So fucking Undertaker hated him for that. But you could get away with that.
Well, it's not like Undertaker has any room to talk. Like, I know Undertaker has some of the best matches in the history of pro wrestling on his resume. But, like, let's be real. Most of his matches are not those matches.
Right.
And one thing that all those matches have in common is that he wrestled somebody who's really, really good at wrestling in all those.
Yeah, let's not look at WrestleMania 25 and be like, oh yeah, that was the fucking
that
Undertaker
was all
show.
Undertaker.
No, that was hard carried by Sean being a fucking goat.
And 26.
Yeah.
Sean. And 27 is Triple H. And 28 is Triple H and Sean.
Right.
And 29 is CM Punk. And 24 was Edge. And, like, I'm not saying that Undertaker didn't have anything to do with it. But, like, if you suck at wrestling, your matches are going to be bad.
No matter what skill level your opponent's at, is not going to save you.
I don't know, except for that one match that I forget the guy's name, but he wrestled Bret Hart, and Bret Hart made him look so good that they thought he was going to be the next, like, face of the company. And then everybody else he ever wrestled, they were like, oh wait, he can't wrestle.
This guy fucking sucks.
But still, it's like, it doesn't usually go down that way.
Right.
Man, fuck you and fuck NXT. Never even watched that show.
Hell yeah. What's NXT? Maybe we'll find out
Next time on the Shelf Gaming. Not again!